choice. Gets heat wave for things like Fortress, which maybe you can just run. I do think heat wave has to come because I have Magneton. That is going to be hidden power ground, but he could also just bring like a U-turn variant and always U-turn out on the predicted mag switch in. U-turn out into Zygarde or something like that. But yeah, he's got the Quagsire, the Chansey, the Sableye, and the Electros. We have Tapu Lele, Garchomp, Suicune, Crobat, Fortress, Alolan Marowak, Licky Licky, Magneton, Sneasel, Brazion, and the Mega Alakazam. So yeah, that's going to be our squad. We're going to end up bringing the Tapu Lele, Garchomp, Suicune, Licky Licky, Alolan Marowak, and the Mega Alakazam. And first off, we've got a Twisted Spoons Tapu Lele with a Timid Nature, Max Speed, Max Special Attack. This is kind of necessary for the most damage output and to speed tie with potential Max Speed Zygarde 50%. And then Psyshock, Moonblast, and Thunderbolt were the only 3 coverage moves we needed. And we can taunt things like Chansey with Psyshock, Twisted Spoons, and the Psychic Terrain. It could potentially be a 2-hit KO. And with Taunt, we prevent any kind of recovery so that we can always be able to 2-hit KO or 3-hit KO Chansey at the very least. Thunderbolt is there for the Skarmory. Moonblast hits the Sableye. So, yeah, that's just about it for Tapu Lele. Nothing really else to say about it. Psyshock can also 1v1 a Florges, especially if we've got the taunt there. And we can prevent it. If we win the speed tie with a potential max speed Zygarde, we can prevent it from setting up a Dragon Dance with taunt or a Coil with taunt or anything like that. We prevent extreme speed from becoming a huge issue to things like Lele and Garchomp and Mega Alakazam, so on and so forth. Next up we have the Garchomp, which is going to be a Life Orb 3 attacks this week with Swords Dance. We're running Swords Dance Life Orb because this can 2-hit KO a Florges after Stealth Rocks. It can 2-hit KO Chansey, and Flamethrower with our special attack investment and a Life Orb is pretty close to 2-hit KO on a Max Spadef Skarmory. And if he is Max Spadef, he doesn't take, the Dragon Claw as well, and we could potentially put him in range of 2 Flamethrowers anyway after Stealth Rocks. And we have way more Flamethrower than he has Roost anyway, so we could potentially just beat him there as well. Really nice set. We've got enough speed to outpace, I think, Zygarde 50%, and I think that was all we needed. Speaking of Zygarde 50%, we've got a dedicated check to that in our very, very, very defensive Suicune with Ice Beam. So, yeah, just got the Ice Beam there. Can protect the Scout for Z moves. Hidden Power Ice there for the Quagsire. And then Scald for basically everything else, especially Darmanitan. So this thing's really, really, really defensive. It takes hits from Zygarde and Darmanitan pretty comfortably. And it has Protect there so that we can Scout for High Jump Kick on me and Shao. So it shouldn't be too big of an issue. Speaking of me and Shao, that's what I'm speaking of right now. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. We've got Tapu Lele that quad resist High Jump Kick. We've got Suicune with Protect. We've got a Ghost type, which is immune to High Jump Kick. And we've got Mega Alakazam, which is also resistant to High Jump Kick, and Okos with Psychic. Next up we have Licky Licky, another Oblivious variant with Leftovers, Wish, Protect, Ice Beam, and Heal Bell. Didn't need a 4th move, so Heal Bell was pretty comfortable. I thought about Earthquake, but since Darmanitan just 2-hit KOs us anyway, it wasn't really worth it when I have Suicune to always switch into it. Heal Bell is much nicer, especially since he has Chansey and Quagsire and potential glare on Zygarde 50%. So yeah, definitely want to be prepared for that. We are max defense on Suicune, so we decided to run a very, very, very Spadef set on Licky Licky. It takes hits from Mega Pidgeot and can click Ice Beam and scare it out, so that's pretty nice. Next up we have Alolan Marowak, or Johnny Bones here, with the Thick Club and the Rockhead. Basically so that we don't take Flare Blitz Recoil, Lightning Guard, and Curse Body. Lightning Rod wasn't needed, and Curse Body was a little bit more what's the word, situational. Whereas Rockhead is always nice because it prevents us from taking Flare Blitz recoil. Shadowbone, Flare Blitz, the only 2 moves I need, and we've got the Toxic there to catch his switch ins, as well as having Stealth Rock on this set. So we're max HP, max attack with that Adamant Nature. So really nice. Didn't want to go Brave Nature because he could potentially bring things that might speed creepers just a little bit, so we didn't want to do that. That being said, we can move on to our final pick for this squad. We're rocking a modest Mega Alakazam with enough speed to outpace base 95s, I believe. Actually, Mega Alakazam doesn't need 60 EVs to outpace base 95. This is outpacing Mega Pidgeot. And we've got the Psyshock, Dazzling Gleam, Taunt, and Recover. This thing can basically 1v1 a Chansey. And it just hits hard throughout, you know. The rest of my team does enough to Garchomp, so I've got Lele and Garchomp, excuse me. The rest of my team does enough to Skarmory. I've got Garchomp and Lele that lure it in and then bop it with Thunderbolt and Flamethrower. We've got Alola Marowak, which bops it with Flare Blitz. So I didn't feel like I needed coverage on Mega Alakazam to hit that. I felt like whenever it come down to it, it would be weakened enough for Mega Alakazam to go ahead and pick it off with a Psyshock or a Dazzling Gleam, depending on if he's more Spadef or more defensive invested. But yeah, we are modest max special attack, so we are bopping things. Psyshock, Dazzling Gleam, the only coverage we actually needed. Also, Skarmory more than likely to taunt. To try to roost up on Mega Alakazam so I can taunt it, recover myself, taunt it, recover myself. He's not going to be able to do enough damage to me unless he's offensively oriented. So I'll be able to 1v1 a Skarmory as well as Chansey. So that's pretty nice with taunt and recover. Psyshock, Dazzling Gleam just gives me the only coverage I absolutely need on this one. But yeah, that's going to be it, and we can go ahead and hop into the battle, and we'll be right back. So here we are with the replay, and my opponent chooses to bring the Electros, Normanton, Chansey, Sableye, Zygarde 50%, and the Mega Pidgeot. So pretty threatening squad there. No Mienshao, which is nice. No Shaman, which is nice. But yeah, he's got a pretty scary squad. But what I do see is that Mega Alakazam is really, really solid in this matchup. He doesn't bring the Skarmory, which is really nice for Lele and Mega Alakazam, and Garchomp even, so he doesn't have a true resist, and the only Pokemon that can outpace me is the Mega Pidgeot, unless he is like Scarf, Darmanitan, or Scarf Zygarde 50%. So we have 2 potential Stealth Rockers, which lead off, pretty well versus his team. I don't know what he would lead off to counter either of my 2 leads, but I guess he could lead off with the Zygarde and Scout and see if I lead off with Garchomp. It would definitely be a good lead versus my Alola Marowak, but not versus my Garchomp or my Lele, which is the reason I actually do lead with my Marowak, and he leads off with his Sableye. I'm just going to set up my Stealth Rocks on this turn. He sets up his Stealth Rocks on this turn, and I go for the Toxic. Now this might seem strange here, but what I'm going to do is go for another Toxic, predicting the Zygarde 50% to come in. And I'm going to do that once again here. I've got to Toxic that Zygarde 50%. I can't allow it to set up or anything weird like that. Speaking of setup, if it is set up, I need to go hard into my Zygarde, like immediately. So, yeah, I'm just going to click the ice beam here, see how much it wants to do, and it does 70%, but he reveals the citrus berry, but he's still at 12%, and here I can just protect. If he is a Z move, I'm going to be able to live that, but he reveals to just go for outrage there. I'm not real sure if he didn't have a Z move or what, but I just protect and he faints there. So that's really nice. And I go into my Licky Licky as he brings out his blob. I'm going to show him which blob is better as I just wish up here. And I can pass this thing off into my Garchomp. The reason I don't go hard Suicune is because, there wasn't a real reason to. Garchomp gives me so much offensive momentum. And instead of him just hard switching into his Chansey, taking my Scald, this actually gives me some offensive momentum. I didn't expect him to go hard into his Mega Pidgeot though, and that's why I'm going to set up a Swords Dance here. I didn't expect the hard Pidgeot play. I guess he predicted my Earthquake on his Darmanitan's, stay in. But yeah, at full here we live anyone hit, even Hidden Power Ice, and we're gonna go for that Dragon Claw, knock him out. We are Life Orb, however, so we are gonna faint to our own recoil, meaning we only get one knockout there. And Garchomp was so good against the Chansey, it was so good against the Darmanitan, but we're actually gonna lose it here on turn 11. Unfortunate, but here we're gonna be able to go for the Psyshock. Twisted Spoon Psyshock has a chance to knock out here, and he lives on 1%, and he's going to reveal the Corkscrew Crash with the Electros, so pretty cool set there. We're just going to go into Mega Alakazam here and trace that Levitate, knock him out with our Psyshock. He can't go Chansey because he loses 1v1. He goes Darmanitan, which is a pretty nice way to go. I think this was the beginning of the end for him. As he goes for the Stone Edge, can't knock out my Suicune, can't even do damage to my Suicune, and we're just going to go for the Scald here. And we get no burn, anything like that, but he's going to reveal Calm Mind here. Had I been a Roar set, this doesn't really make sense to me, because had I been a Roar set or like a Dragon Tail on Licky Licky like I've shown throughout the season, it doesn't make much sense to me. But what I can do is hope that he doesn't attack on this turn. And I can go into my Alolan Marowak, and hopefully he's not speed invested. We don't have much speed at all. We have actually 0 speed, but we aren't a minus speed nature. So let's see if he's got any kind of speed investment here, and if he doesn't, we can get some nice chip damage off on him. But he reveals to have some speed investment here, so that's not good. He does have the Prankster ability as well, but we can trace that with Mega Alakazam and taunt him. So we should have clicked taunt here. It would have been our best play. We could have prevented him from recovering up, and we could have been able to 2-hit KO him there if he can't knock us out with one hit. But he does reveal to be able to. But look how low he would have been if we would have clicked taunt. If we would have taunted the first turn, he would have been just a little bit lower than this, which would have been in range of Suicune. And then Suicune plus Licky Licky could have won this match with Heal Bell and Pressure, Wish Stall, and all that. Suicune would have went first here, and yeah, we would have knocked him out there from. He would have been taunted. He wouldn't have been able to do the Prankster recover or anything like that. But yeah, going to be unfortunate there, and we're actually going to lose this match. I'm going to speed this up because it's kind of boring. My opponent actually clicks Calm Mind over and over and started recovering as if the game wasn't his already. I'm not sure why, but yeah, he's going to win this one 3-0. A little bit unfortunate. We did lose in week 3, and we were on a win streak, but here we're going to drop one again in week 7. This could have been our 4th straight victory, but we dropped this one. Kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let me know what you thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. How big of a choke was it to click to not click taunt on the Mega Sableye? And oh man, the big play, I think the biggest play was the Electros living on 1 and revealing the Corkscrew Crash. But yeah, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you aren't. And I thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.